Hey Roger, this is Jim Gillis with My Vote. Sorry I don't have my camera on right now, but I'm not in the office in the background. It's just really distracting. Wanted to just show you that the site is all based around the user's practice ballot. So as a user, I get my ballot, my upcoming ballot. I'll have all my ballots, but I'll have my upcoming ballot and I'll be staring at it. And I can, see the date that the election is. I can see all the candidates and all the races. I can click on important dates or I can find my polling place. So all those things are in there. And then I can scroll down and I can see that we have a city council race and a school board race. I can even go down to the state propositions as well as the local measures. And I can even see the pending ones where I click on it and I can read the proposition, see who's supporting it, see who's opposing it. All of this stuff is just like that, 200 or 300 page voter guide that you get from the elections department. It's just online, mobile, and social, and all of the benefits that come along with that. So the way it works is that the candidates build their own profiles the same way they'd build a Facebook page or a Twitter account, or a LinkedIn profile. They build these profiles and then they populate my ballot. So as they become certified on the ballot, they're certified on this practice ballot. And now I can scroll down and I can see all the different candidates that are in the race. For example, there's a feature called Trusted Sources, and those are groups and organizations and individuals that I trust that I want to know how they're voting. Obviously it's all opt-in, so it's opt-in on my side as well on their side. And the way that works is just like Facebook groups. We're following someone on Twitter. I can just see all these people and I can click on them and I can add them. I can also look them up, obviously, search. And let's say I really like Moms Demand Action. So I click on them and I can see their San Francisco ballot. So the way that groups would work is that Moms Demand Action can endorse and favorite on any ballot in the country. They go through, they do all those, and it turns into sort of an online voter guide. So now I can, let's say if I like, Moms Demand Action, so I want to look at their voter guide here. I can see where they stand on all the propositions as well as all the races. I can also just click straight through, and now my ballot will be updated because again, we're all in the same ballot. And if I really like this group, I can just click here and it can just vote, like them all the way up and down the ballot. And of course, at any given time, if I say, look, I agree with them 90% of the time or whatever, I can always just quickly, change my vote right here or back on my ballot. I can also see the percentages here. And again, this is a big thing because a lot of these candidates and advocacy groups are spending millions of dollars on Facebook, and then millions of dollars, not millions, but then thousands of dollars on polling services to find out how they're doing and all that stuff is free here. So groups and organizations are free. Again, it's an all opt-in. There's no ads, and the business model is that candidates pay. There's about 1 million candidates over a 4-year, rotation. And at $100 or $200, you're talking $100 million. So there's plenty of revenue there, for this site to be sustained just on candidates. And that's only one revenue source. There's lots of other ways to do stuff, later on down the road. But I'm going to add those groups and I'm going to add my friend Sarah. And now I'm back here on my ballot looking at City Council District 4. Kimberly here, has raised and spending $300,000 to win the city council seat. Mike here, who's a great guy, is spending $500. So for me, it doesn't matter. So this site gets money out of elections as well because this is the best place for me to decide for whom to vote. So I'm going to click on Mike and I'm going to check it out and watch his video and look at his bio, see the party he's running on. I can share his video. I can ask him questions. I can check out his webpage. I can donate. And I can also look, on the issues. And let's say the waterfront redevelopment is the issue that I want the most or that I care about the most. I can click on that. And again, since he's building and updating and managing his own profile, he can be updating it just like Facebook or Twitter or whatever. But now it's organized on a ballot. So I can now see this and say, hey, you know what? This is great. I can look at endorsements. Now, here is where all the groups and organizations and individuals that he wants to feature are on his profile. So he's going to put these groups here. And I may not, be that interested in them. I'll be a little bit interested, but I want to see just my trusted sources. So I click on that, and now I can see just those, and I can see my friend Sarah here. Did a little video in her house about what a great guy Mike is, and she's worked with him for years. And I can say great, and then I can see down here Unite America, same thing, and now I favorite Mike because now he's the best choice, and I've given all the candidates a little time. And I'll go back to my ballot. He'll be in that first position. This kind of fades out a little bit, so this is nice and prominent. And maybe I want to share with a friend. So I can share with a friend on Facebook if I want, and click here, and now my friend goes right to this profile. So if I'm sharing on Facebook, a Facebook page or that type of thing, again, we're there, and the bots are there, and the ads are there, and everything is there, and it's unorganized. So even if my friend were to read through Mike's entire profile and like him and think he's a great guy, within a day or two, he doesn't remember his name. He's not sure what he's running for. Was it school board? Was it city council? Was it assembly or what? And again, it's gone. But here, my friend says, "Hey, I'm going to sign up here, and I can check out his endorsements." And it's a mutual friend, Sarah here, and he had selected Sarah as a trusted source as well. So he's gonna listen to the same thing, favorite Mike, and that is it. And then he's gonna add a bunch of trusted sources. He can now go to the propositions. He can watch the explainer video. He can go down here after he added all these trusted sources, and now he can see all the different groups and organizations that are supporting this proposition. He can click here and he can see them nice and handy. So this is a real situation where um, uh, Ethan Behrman did these great 3-minute videos or so in 2016 on all of the state propositions. He did a ton of research. He really dug down deep, gave good pros and cons, and then his recommendation, at the end of the video, as well as an article that he had wrote about each one of them. And those were invaluable. So now, I would just select him as a trusted source. And there was a bunch of other people who did the same thing. But now I have them all right here. So it's great. I can listen to his, I can listen to the people that are opposing this proposition and see what they have to say. I can even uncover some of these that are people and groups and organizations that have opposed it or supported it, but they're not my trusted source. But I want to open them up and see what they have to say, and I can listen to that, and then I can go here and I can vote on that. And then they're asking me here, do I want to, do a video or an endorsement? I say sure. I'm going to put a video in there, and then I go back to, my ballot here. It's nice and prominent. That's a yes. That's how I'm going to vote on it. And now I'm going to share this back to a friend. So now I'm back here with Faster Voter 22, and I'm scrolling through because I just added my new friend here as a trusted source because he was telling me he's doing some stuff. And now I can just watch his video all about Proposition 2 and why I should vote yes on that. And then I can just go click on that. So in 2016, I think there was about 10 to 15 races or so. There was probably even more than that. And then there was 40 propositions. There was like 26 local measures, and then like 13 or 14 or whatever state propositions. There's no possible way any voter made good votes, well-informed votes on all of those things that they needed to vote on. But here you can, right? You can actually go through, hear everything's, compare the candidates side by side and pick the best one. Compare the pros and cons on each one of the propositions and measures and make a well-informed vote. And you can fill it all out. And again, I won't bore you with all I have lots more slides. It looks like you tweeted again there. Hold on. But you can go, get your turn-by-turn directions to your polling place. We have alerts, and then you can take your phone right into the polling place, and make and just sort of transfer it right on to the ballot. One thing I didn't touch on, too much here, Is it, see these percentage signs up here? These are the percentages of favorites that this candidate has on this site. So again, it's free to voters. We'll be able to keep track of who's winning in the polls and who's losing in the polls and who's ahead and who's close and all that stuff. So will the candidates, and the candidates won't have to pay extra for that or anything else. So again, Mike Young, his campaign, who raised 500 bucks, um, he's going to have money left over after he uses our site, and he can go do whatever he wants with it. But he'll be able to now reach out, tell people to go to his profile, learn all about him, favorite him if they like what he says, and he'll be able to track that, on how he's doing. So there's a couple of other features like a comment board and some other stuff that I'd be happy to share with you. If you're interested at all. I've self-funded, so the most of this product is done. We did the National Student Parent Mock Election and the National Association of Student Council, and we're also doing Virginia University of Virginia's mock election and the excuse me, Discovery Kids or Kids Discovery Channel mock election for 2020. So we already have a wide user base of teachers and students over the last couple of years, and would love to talk with you about the business model, moving forward. Thanks a lot. Bye bye. I know it's long, but thanks a lot. Bye bye.